There are two main payroll journal entries. In an earlier chapter, I told you that when we paid salaries, we simply debited salaries expense and credited cash. Or I said we debited wages expense and credited cash. That was a very simplistic answer. At the time, it was valid. But now in this chapter, let's zoom in and let's see more detail in this journal entry. The first journal entry is all about the employee, and the second journal entry is all about the employer. The employer has to pay taxes on every person that they hire. So the cost of hiring an employee is not just the salary that you pay the employee, but there's also vacation benefits, retirement benefits, healthcare benefits, and there's even additional taxes that the employer has to pay to the government. We debit salaries expense for the gross amount that was earned by the employees, and we credit a bunch of liability accounts because the employee earns it and that money is dispersed to lots of different places. If there's any money left, the employee gets it. We debit salaries expense for the gross, and whatever the employees get, that's called the net. Everything in between, we call those withholdings. Sometimes we call those deductions, but I try to avoid the word deductions because that word is used a lot in taxes, like an expense being tax deductible or tax deductions. So the more precise word in this context would be withholdings. The Social Security tax and the Medicare tax are known as FICA taxes. FICA stands for Federal Insurance Contributions Act. You probably don't have to remember that, but you should remember that FICA is Social Security and Medicare. When these taxes started, they were one tax, and later they were split into two different taxes. The legislators that made this program or this tax, they wrote that the employees would pay half and the employers would pay another half. So we calculate the FICA taxes for the employees, and whatever that turns out to be, the employers pay a matching amount.